Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emma and I make art videos, and for today's video I am working on this watercolor and colored pencil piece. This is actually the first piece of artwork that I've done that is animal rights based. If you guys didn't know, I am vegan and animal rights is something that I care about a lot, and I've been wanting to create some art that is kind of based around that, but I hadn't really come up with ideas that I really liked. So this is my first piece based on that. So yeah, I'm not really going to talk too much about the meaning. I think it's pretty obvious. But yeah, so for this piece I am working in my watercolor sketchbook, and I do want to apologize for the fact that the paper is like moving constantly in this when I'm pressing on it. I did have it held down on one side, as you can see, but I didn't have the other corner like held down, and it is kind of noticeable, so I'm sorry about that. And then for the drawing, I just sketched it out with my HB pencil. I went over that with some watercolor. I just used my peerless watercolors, and I like to do this for colored pencil pieces sometimes, just because it already puts down a layer of color, and that will, you know, somewhat show through for your end result. So it does help. And then I went in with my colored pencils. This is actually the first like full piece that I've done with my new Faber-Castell Polychromos, which I'm loving so much. They're really fantastic pencils, and there are so many colors, which is awesome. If you guys didn't know, I received them for my birthday, and for last week's video I did like an unboxing and first impression, but like I said, this is like the first finished piece using them, so I was like, I have to do a colored pencil piece, you know, for this week's video. I think this image would look good as a painting as well, like an acrylic painting, so I don't know, maybe I will recreate it sometime in the future if I feel like I need to. But because this was in my sketchbook, I mean, like the one that I'm using now, I do like to have somewhat, you know, finished pieces in it. It's not, I don't use it like a typical sketchbook where you're just like doing random doodles and it doesn't really matter what they look like. But because it is in a sketchbook, it's like, if it's not like amazing, it's not like a huge deal. And I guess if I really like, you know, one of the pieces, I can always like cut it out and like frame it or something if I like. But yeah, the only downside to putting watercolor down first before your colored pencils is that the paper will warp a bit. It's kind of hard to avoid. But yeah, if you don't mind that, then it is a good way to put down lots of color like quickly, and to kind of just get like your base colors down. But yeah, so for this piece I decided to make the iris red. It's supposed to be, you know, representation of what happens, you know, lots of blood, that kind of thing. And I also decided to add some tears to the eyes. Well, you can see them just underneath the lower lash line. And I don't really draw like water or water droplets, so I had to kind of look at some reference images to see what it looked like. I think I pulled it off okay. I don't think it's amazing, but I was somewhat happy with how that turned out. And yeah, for the rest of the eye, I kind of just gave the eye some like warm brown eyeshadow and that kind of thing. I didn't really want to add like an eyebrow, just because it is such like an up close shot of an eye, and if I was going to add an eyebrow, I feel like the eye would have to be smaller, and I wanted the eye to be relatively big so I could get a lot of detail in the iris for the bodies, I guess. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching the process. In other news, I also decided to create a separate I account, a separate Instagram account for my art. Beforehand I had them kind of together, but I've decided to make a separate one just because, I don't know, I think it'll be easier for me to post that way, and I won't feel like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna spam too much art on my Instagram or too much personal photos on my Instagram. This way I can keep them separate, and I think it will allow me to kind of post more, if that makes sense. So yeah, if you'd like to go follow that, it is just at Maree Art. Yeah, it's pretty easy to find. I'll link it in the description, and if you follow my other Instagram, you should be able to find it. And yeah, I think that is all from me today. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. And yeah, here is the finished piece. So thank you all for watching. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and I will see you all in my next video.